just add one more thing with the RetroPGF. This is starting in the fall, or this in like the next few months. And I encourage everybody to look into it because I think that this could be a really great opportunity for Eden Fractal as a community, and then everybody too. And this is starting in a few months. So if you can think of some way to help Optimism, then it could be a good way. Like I know, for example, maybe Jorge could align some of the stuff that you're doing with Speaking Fractal with Optimism, and everybody can have different initiatives and so forth. And we could also potentially have it where maybe, previously we had a sponsor, so right now we don't have a sponsor. So this is something that actually I included in the proposal, that maybe Optimism can help sponsor Eden Fractal going forward in some way. There's lots of different collaborations that we can explore. And yeah, I just got the link up for the Optimism Fractal proposal. So in addition to this RetroPGF, they also have a lot of different grant opportunities too. At the bottom of one of those pages, or somewhere over here, there's like a section where there's documentations and you can find out grant application or grant resources. Yeah, if you click here and then somewhere over here, I'll put up soon, but there's lots of different funding opportunities. And one of them I heard about, they call it the Grant Council, which I just applied for this past week. It was due on Thursday and I heard about it on like Sunday. And I was meeting with Rosemarie, and I was meeting with Tadas and Vlad. We all meet often. And so I shared it with them, and I was like, how could I want to help the whole community and help everybody see this. But I tried proposing Optimism over the past couple of weeks, but we had this Eden Fractal stuff coming up with the MSIG stuff coming up. So those proposals didn't get discussed. So I wound up making a proposal on this Grant Council application, which is, in addition to the RetroPGF, they also have these many different sorts of funding programs, kind of like how the ENF had like both Pomelo and then also like the ENF grant framework and all these different things. And then, there's different funding programs in Alien Worlds and so forth. Well, they have several different ones. And one of them, they call it the Grant Council. And I applied, wrote this proposal along with Vlad, Rosemarie, and Das. And the proposal is basically to start a Optimism Fractal. And I curated a lot of the stuff that we've been doing over the past year here at Eden Fractal, as well as the genesis of Fractally, as well as the different work. I kind of gave us some highlights about how it's been growing and how Alien Worlds is doing well with the Alien Worlds Fractal, and there's a lot of interest from different communities and Aqueduct and so forth. So I can share the link if people are interested in reading this more detail, but basically it shows what the project is about. It's about growing the Optimism community with innovative consensus games at weekly meetings where anyone can network with talented builders, enjoy creative collaboration, and compete to earn respect by creating public goods or on Optimism. And so the idea here for this proposal is to start a new community called Optimism Fractal, host the first season. I'm planning to host it, and this proposal hasn't been passed yet. I'll hear back in a few weeks if it does get passed, of weekly events for 2 or 3 months. And also Vlad and Josh said that they can help with creating an initial tool set that'll enable anybody to empower their community with fractal consensus games on Optimism, and thereby also EVM chains, the super chain, Ethereum, and so forth. So I put together, like, the proposal is quite detailed. So I'll show the link in if people want to see it, but it kind of gives a little overview. We're planning to both build the tools and then make like a really great event where we're promoting it and starting up a new website, starting up community forums, and networking a lot with the people in the community. A lot of questions here about like, what are you going to build? And so I explain how we're going to do it and give a little context into Eden Fractal and Fractal and all the different fractals. And then, yeah, it's quite detailed. I kind of summarize a lot of stuff we did here. And I think that it's a great opportunity in many ways. Yeah, there's so much here. They have all these questions about why it's going to succeed and how is it novel and how it's going to bring new builders to Optimism ecosystem, and how it's going to improve the quality of developers in Optimism ecosystem, and how it's going to improve the commitment of developers in the ecosystem. This proposal specifically was about bringing builders to Optimism ecosystem. So thanks to Das for joining, and I hope you have a great day. And I see Lisa said she had to run for a meeting as well. So thank you, Lisa, for joining as well. And yeah, I suppose I'll wrap up this presentation because it's been pretty long. But basically, yeah, there's a lot of details here, and I can show you a link if people want to learn more. I'm happy to go into it more. I've already shared some of them. You can find them at optimism.io. And my thinking here is, one, I wanted to share with the community because I think that it's just a huge opportunity for growth, and it's a community that's highly aligned, and there's a lot of funding available there. And then I think that with these tools that Tadas and Vlad are planning to build on EVM, it makes sense for Eden Fractal to also operate not just on EOS, but also on Optimism as well. And we can pin consensus results to both places. And there's lots of great tools that we can use on Optimism with the EVM. And then maybe we can figure out, it's just me, Tadas, and Rosemary who made this proposal, because we had to do it in a rush, and we figured we could put this together and get started. It's kind of like a first entry point, because the RetroPGF and all these other funding opportunities, like there's so much more. So we just figured this is a good first step to take. But I want to encourage everybody to look into it. I'll share more about the different grant programs in the RetroPGF and more about the ecosystem. I'm happy to discuss it. I know it's a lot of information, so if people have questions or want to discuss this in another meeting or in next week's Eden Fractal meeting or whatever, then happy to do so. And yeah, basically just wanted to bring it to your attention, so everybody can know, and then encourage you to learn about it and collaborate. And it could be both for this new Optimism Fractal, and then also for Eden Fractal to collaborate with Optimism, while also still collaborating with EOS and the Antelope community as well.